Hey everybody, what's up? This is Retrokid Reviews, with the figure set here, trying to look like an aftermath of, I guess, some sort of predator, quote unquote. Yeah, main reason why we're sticking to it, half figure, half, semi-vlogish, kind of thing is, I wanted to actually make this a in-person, face-to-face, traditional review, but the main reason why is if you've seen my, shorts content lately, this week, is that it's basically been pretty hard hair-wise. Split ends has been pretty much the order of the week here, so that's mainly why. Also, I'm going to do a quick honorable mention before we get to our Predator Badlands review of some Star Wars-related content I forgot to mention a few weeks back was my overall thoughts with the Mandalorian and Grogu teaser trailer. It looks good. Again, there wasn't really that much dialogue of the Mandalorian, and there is kind of a theme to that when we get to the Badlands half of this review, because that's kind of what it feels like with most of what's going on in Badlands. It's like very early of the season, kind of like season 1 vibes of Mandalorian without like the demystifying most of like the mystique of like the predator species. So I guess with that segue, let's get to Predator Badlands. The last time I did a very huge I guess theatrical Predator review was obviously the Predator 2018, aka Shane Black's Predator. But since Prey and earlier this year's Killers go to that in the cards. As far as reviews go, Dan Trachtenberg has basically been on the longest, I want to say, rebrand tour for, this franchise, and I think this movie was going to be the harder ask out of them all, mainly because, I think some didn't know this, and I didn't know this a week before, this dropped today, as of this weekend, of this recording, that this was going to be a PG-13 release, and I was like, really? The Predator franchise? Okay. I think the little fears I had of it kind of rode away the minute we started getting into the first half of this movie with the full-on fight with Deck's family, basically telling him he's not ready to be a full-blown Yautja, not ready to be like a true hunter of their clan kind of stuff, and more importantly, I think I forgot to mention this in my Killer review. Let me know in the comments, but I'm very much happy that the codex and most of like the in comics of like the Dark Horse years and even like the modern Marvel stuff, lore terminology, and most of like having a Yautja Predator present as like the main character of a story is actually really cool. But again, in case you can tell, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. The story centers around Deck, essentially one of the lowest tier of that clan, and more importantly, he's trying to, like, prove himself in an unkillable, monster kind of world, called Genna, if I got the name right. The fight in Yautja Prime with, like, his family and his dad, was a very great cold open. I think it took, I think Trachtenberg has a style to his openings, because I think same thing like, Prey a few years ago, it took almost, like, I want to say a half hour to get to the main title credit, and it was actually a really cool theme to it. It was very nice. In case you can also tell, I'm recording this weekend of, so I don't have final numbers on the box office just yet, so I'll probably have an update short with that. If you guys want to know, let me know in the comments. Outside of that, what's my overall thoughts with Elle Fanning's twins, slash, Thea and Tessa? They are very diametrically opposed. This is a very dual role kind of thing that I didn't think Elle Fanning can do, really effectively, but, outside of the first act, when she was trying to, like, meet up with Deck and trying to figure out the world, like, in real time with each other, it was actually really good. It's the dialogue isn't not as front heavy within series like kind of like humor. Again, this is a PG-13, so they kind of wanted to keep it light for the kids. But again, it's not like whatever the hell Shane was doing a few years ago with the Predator kind of light. So you're kind of in the good there. So going back to like the Mandalorian of it all here, it's kind of how it is with Deck. Like everything about his gear and build is kind of like video game rules of like starting from zero and like rebuilding from there kind of stuff, kind of like a average Assassin's Creed or any other video game sequel kind of arc. And that's kind of how it is here with him and his gear all throughout this planet. And for Thea, her sister Tessa, I think is a really good diametrically opposed kind of like antagonist to her. Like you can definitely tell the company has more involvement with these synths than usual, and by that company I mean of course Wayland Yutani. And I think the big draw from the trailers and everything was this gonna have anything to do with aliens, or was anything xenomorph related research was gonna get Easter eggs away here? Surprisingly, no. I think Dan said this when he had an interview discussing if he was ever going to do an AVP. He said, and I think I'm either misquoting or I'm quoting correctly in the comments. He wants you to just get genuinely surprised when you see like a xenomorph or an alien queen or whatever what he wants to do with that kind of AVP setting, and just like a regular like Predator movie, and then jump into it. Now, for a while, everyone thought it was going to be this movie as well, that it would just like have that jump scare kind of aesthetic to it, for like a surprise fourth act like in Aliens. But no, it was actually a straightforward story all the way through. It's really cool. The combat and most of the action effects is amazing. I kind of want to get the cast out of the way here because yeah, there we go. Trying to get the IMDb in time. Sorry, guys. But yeah, this is a winner for Dan Trachtenberg and everybody. The suit actor who played Deck throughout all this, Demetrius Shusko. I can't say that last name for my life. Sorry in advance to that dude. He actually did a really good job. You can definitely tell down to like even the roar going up against the third act monster here, to prove his worth in the clan, that it's the most challenging, and you can definitely tell he's really giving it his all in the bodysuit versus pretty much everything you're seeing here, with like the broken tusk and being like again just a runt of like the clan, and he's trying to prove himself like all throughout this movie, and you can definitely tell. Anyway, I'm trying to keep it sporadic because, again, Kind of Funny already did their in review of it. Chris Stuckman came back from his time doing Shelby Oaks to do a quick review of this movie. It's going through the review circuit, and everybody is absolutely adoring this movie. Yeah, in the way that this franchise has kind of been known to just be good. It wasn't to play the hits. It wasn't this. It wasn't like over reliant on the nostalgia. Like you can tell Dan is a fan of the franchise and will do this gradually instead of in your face with the references. So that's like the good news out of it. So other than that, my overall rating for this movie is a strong 8.5 out of 10. It is in the high 8s. And I highly recommend watching this movie in IMAX because, unfortunately, I saw this at a matinee in my local theater yesterday as of this recording. And I only got like one trailer, so that's why I kind of wanted to like talk more extensively about Mandalorian Grogu, because I kind of kept that up in the backlog of things I have to talk about backlog-wise with trailers. So, yeah, and I only got like one semi-trailer. It wasn't really much. Again, good matinee with trailers. So, other than that, what did you think of Predator Badlands? Are you seeing it this weekend? Or are you getting that popcorn bucket, which actually looks like a really cool minifig of Dex gear? Again, let me know in the comments down below if I should get that after the fact. Maybe I'll probably try to hunt down maybe the NECA figures when the Ultimate Editions of both these characters drop, because I actually want to get that as a backup review and talk more about the plot through those figures, if anything. So again, with that all being said, go to my what was supposed to be planned I guess, anti-predator armor here to my shorts playlist, because as of this recording, I just did a breaking news for Toku-related content on Gojuger. Go to what was also plot stuff that I forgot to do last minute here to sub to the channel, the notification bell down below, and previous video also here as well with my Dispatch review. And I believe next week is the Running Man remake. If that's the case, I'll try to do a double review of the original movie and the remake. Spoilers, I grew up with watching the original, so that'll be pretty easy to speed run through. But when it comes to the original movie with the new remake, that's gonna be a little difficult. Probably have to see in the theaters like always. So with that all being said, take care, subscribe, and yeah, I would love to see a sequel to this, because sporadic spoilers aside and big spoilers, what the heck are they gonna do with Dex mom? Because if I remember Yaocha lore about the female half of that species, they are just frightening and just insane alone. Just saying.